Okay.
Send it right away so I can finish it later.
I'll mute you all, no worries. All right, and so we'll come to lying on our back and stretch our legs out. And Bella will make her cameo appearances. All right. So we'll separate our legs comfortably, separate the arms away from the body, and just close the eyes for a few moments. We're just going to inhale slowly and fully. And as we exhale, just allow the body to release. Está bien, está bien. And taking a deep breath in. And when we exhale, just letting it go. And just sensing how your body's feeling, how you're feeling today. Welcoming the energy of the weekend in. And as we exhale, really feeling ourselves receiving the support from the ground. As we let go into all of the points of contact we're making with the mat. And we'll just take a couple more moments here to take slower and fuller breaths. Sensing into the back of your body and where you're touching the floor as you breathe in deeply. And as you exhale slowly, releasing around your jaw, releasing around your eye sockets. Feel the weight of your head, the weight of your chest, and the weight of your pelvis. And keeping that heavy feeling of letting go. When you're ready on one of your inhalations, you'll gently slide the arms up and over your head. And as we exhale, we'll take a long yawning stretch. Reach through your fingers, reach through your toes. Inhale, relax the stretch. Just keep the arms on the ground over the head. Fill up with your breath. And as you exhale, again, reaching out long, stretching to yawn. One more time, inhaling slowly and fully. Feel your body expand. And as you exhale, stretching out long. And then we'll interlace our hands, bring them behind the head, making a pillow for the back of our head. And as we inhale, we'll gently roll our toes in towards each other. Let the knees bend a little bit so that the thighs can roll in more. And as we exhale, we'll start rolling the legs out, which will straighten the knees and just let them release. Inhale to roll the thighs inward. Exhale to roll them outward. And again, just being mindful that when they're rolling in, it's very helpful to soften, to let the knees bend. And as they roll back out, the knees will straighten. We'll do that 2 more times. Notice how much energy there is around the front of your thigh. Try and relax your thighs. Let the knees bend and roll in and out as far as it feels comfortable and possible. And then as you're ready, you'll let your thighs release. Slowly bend your right knee to stand the right foot on the ground. And we'll do the same with the left. Standing both feet on the ground now, just kind of resettle your lower back. Bring your ankles together and notice for a moment that they line up with your tailbone, with your pubic bone, navel center, breastbone, nose, and crown of your head. So from your whole body, from the top of your head down to your tail, sense where your center is. And on your following inhale, slowly release the knees out to the sides. Take your time to get there. Notice how it pulls on your low back. And as you exhale, slowly roll the knees in towards one another. Press the feet into the ground as the knees come back together. And again, inhale and let the knees open out to the sides and separate. Exhale, rolling them back in. Relax the face, relax the jaw. Inhaling to open out slowly, allowing for the spine, the back of the head. Anything that wants to move, allow it to move. And when your knees come back together again, press the feet into the floor so that it rolls the spine back into the mat. Relax around your throat and your jaw so that the movement through your head is also pronounced. It's also obvious. We'll do this 2 more times. Relax your mouth. Notice how you're breathing. And the next time that the knees come together, we'll keep them together. Separate the feet this time. Turn the toes out, the heels out, till the feet are pretty wide apart. Inhaling again in the center. And as you exhale, take both knees over to the right side. Gently press the inner edge of the left foot down. Pull the left elbow in next to your head and roll onto your right side. Send the left elbow forward and let the left knee drop down. Inhale while you're there. Keep your legs heavy and let your head roll back first. Your head rolls into your hands first, then the right knee rolls into center. The left knee comes up and we take both legs over to the left. Push into the inner edge of your right foot so you feel how it peels your shoulder up. And then send your elbow forward as you let your knee drop down. Inhale there. Exhaling, rolling back. And again, take your time. Keep your legs heavy until your chest is open, then bring your left knee in. Roll both legs to the right side. Push into the inner edge of your left foot and peel yourself over to the other side. And breathe. Keep your legs heavy when you roll back. So let your head and the back of your chest bring you back. Keep the legs relaxed until you've moved as much as you can in your upper back. And we'll just keep going with this pattern. If there's any moments in the movement that feel really good, that you feel like you want to stay in them, go for it. And keep breathing. Notice that when you go slowly enough, you might feel more sensation. And notice if your tissues start to give. Does it feel easier as you repeat it? And the next time that you're lying on your left side, go ahead and stay there. Finish the movement where you roll all the way forward with the right elbow and just breathe. And then when you're ready, you'll release your top hand, bring it down to the floor and hug your knees into your chest. We'll bring the knees up a bit closer. The bottom arm can still act as a pillow for your head. And as you inhale, you'll straighten the right arm out in front of you at the height of your chest. Take a deep breath while you're here. And as you exhale, your right fingertips will stay on the floor. Drag them up and over your head, like you're drawing a circle on the ground with a piece of chalk. Notice that when the arm comes next to your head, your palm can turn towards the ceiling. Roll your head back into your hand, and again, open the chest up. Notice how it changes though to have the weight of the arm. And then we'll reach the arm back up and over the head and let that guide us back onto our side, circling the arm down, but also forward. Inhale while you're there. And again, when you're ready, start taking the right arm back up and over your head. Let the back of your chest relax. Release your abdomen. Take the arm as far over as it feels safe in the shoulder. If it ever feels like it pinches, lift the arm further away from the ground. And when you're ready, bring it back up and over your head. Again, as you reach forward, let your body turn towards the floor. So your chest and your face would be turning towards the mat. We'll just do this 2 more times. Keep your thighs very heavy. And then when you feel ready, you'll make your way onto your side again. Rest there for a moment. Bring the arm in. Just take a breath. Notice how the shoulder feels. And then we'll slowly make our way up onto our hands and knees, pressing into our hands, rising up onto our knees. We'll have big open palms on the mat. And we'll bring our knees close together and our hands under our chest. And just for a second, look around yourself. Notice what you see. Notice if you're seeing the front of your thighs. Whenever you see the front of your thighs, you need to pick your head back up so that you're not letting your head hang off of the neck, but you're keeping it up in line with your shoulders. Then we'll come to the center. And as we inhale, we'll send the chest forward, lift the tailbone, and gently look forward and up. And as we exhale, curl from the pelvis first, round the tailbone down, then the low back, and your head is the last thing that looks in the cat stretch. Inhaling, reach with your chest and save your head for last. And as you exhale, reach with your pelvis, curl your tailbone under, rounding in the mid back, and then the head comes in at the end. Follow your breath. Take your time. If your shoulders and neck ever start to get tired, that means that your hands need to come under your chest more. They need to be under your body a bit more. Keep going. And we'll just do 2 more. Be gentle with yourself, but do explore if you can go a little bit further by moving the breath more. So making sure you've exhaled all the air out before you inhale, and making sure you've brought in as much air as you possibly can when you inhale and look up. And then when you're ready, find the place in between these 2 extremes where the back of the head is in line with the shoulders and the hips, your knees are close together. And as you exhale this time, keep your knees where they are. Just slide your feet to the right side, both feet to the right, and look over your right shoulder. And again, make sure you're looking up and over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center with your feet in the center. Exhale, go the other way, looking up and over the shoulder, back at your feet. Inhale through center. Exhale to the other side. Squeeze the air out. Be mindful of the head staying up between the shoulders. So that means we don't see the front of our thighs now. And we'll just do one more to each side. And then we'll come back through to our center and press back into child's pose. Sitting all the way back on the heels. Letting your hands stack under your head or take the hands back to the feet, whatever's more comfortable. And we're just going to take a deep breath. And as we exhale, let the shoulders release and very gently start rolling the head from side to side. If your head is comfortable on the floor, you can roll it on the ground. If not, put your hands under your head. Notice how the neck feels as you move in this shape. Notice where else you might feel it. We'll do one more to each side. And then as you're ready, you'll find the center. Exhale, send the tailbone down, walk the hands towards the knees, rounding the spine to come all the way up to sitting, coming up as tall as it's possible for your feet and knees. Otherwise, lean forward and just take a few breaths here. Try and stay. If it's comfortable for you to sit up, you can sit up on your feet. If that's very painful, keep your hands forward, but still keep your legs folded. Just take 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then when you feel ready, we'll come out of that and come to lie on the right side now. So we'll balance ourselves out with what we did a moment ago. Bring the knees into the chest. Interlace the hands behind the head. And then reach the left arm just out in front of you. And slide the fingers forward so that it slides your face and your chest towards the mat. And as you're ready, you'll inhale, walking the fingertips of your left hand on the floor over your head. Notice when the arm comes next to the head, the palm can turn towards the ceiling, and you keep rolling back. And notice how it feels and where you feel it back there. Take a deep breath. Relax your legs, and when you feel ready, take the left arm back up and over your head, moving forward so that it brings you back onto your side and really kind of onto your face. Inhale there, and exhale. Breathe when you feel ready to move, and move when you feel like it's time for breathing, so that these things coincide. It's like the same thing, the breath and the movement. Keep asking the body to hang out, feel the breath. With every exhale, you can slide back into gravity a bit more and explore that feeling in different body positions. So just kind of staying to breathe and release when the arm is forward, when the arm is overhead maybe, and when the arm is behind you. This is a wonderful way to practice lymphatic drainage for yourself. And you'll notice the angle when the arm is behind you, where you feel a lot in your armpit. As long as it doesn't feel sharp or tingling, stay and breathe into an angle where your armpit is feeling like it's getting stretched open. Or maybe you feel it more in your rib cage or your shoulder blades. That's Fine too. Stay and breathe into it. And we'll just take one more moment with this. And now this time, when you feel ready here, you're going to roll onto your back again. So we can roll the head back, bring the feet back onto the ground. Feel yourself lining up with your head between your shoulders, shoulders stacked above your ribs and your pelvis. You can put your hands on your pelvis. Exhale to lift your head, look at your pelvis, and make sure that it really is in line with your shoulders. Bring your head back down and bring your feet a little closer together. They don't need to touch each other, but we do want them kind of close. As we inhale, we'll send our tailbone into the mat, allow the low back to lift. As we exhale, roll the tailbone towards the sky, press down with the feet, and start peeling up one segment at a time into bridge. When you're at the top of your bridge, notice that your feet press down evenly, that you're on the space between the shoulder blades, the neck feels free, you're able to swallow. And then as you're ready, keep your tailbone curling up, and we'll start coming down from our breastbone first, rolling through our ribs, our mid, back, and the pelvis. Inhale, reach the arms over the head. We're going to explore something a little different today. Exhale, interlace the hands, bring them back behind the head. And before we bridge again, we're going to cross the left leg over the right leg. Inhaling there, left leg over the right leg. And as you exhale, let your legs fall gently over to the left side, like it's the left leg that's pulling the right knee over. And just take a breath while you're there. Notice where you feel pull. And as you exhale, you'll bring your legs back through to the center, uncross the legs, cross the other leg over, right over left, and then the legs roll to the right side, like it's the right thigh pulling the left leg over. Breathe while you're there. And again, exhale, come back up through center. Uncross the legs, bring the feet back to the ground. Inhale here, and as you're exhaling, let your knees open out to the sides, heels of the feet come together, back into butterfly stretch. Move your elbows towards the ceiling, and on the following exhale, press your ribs into the mat and start curling up to look through your pelvis. Make sure that your chin is not getting pushed forward, but that you're letting your head fall back. So maybe you don't look through your legs completely because you want your head to feel heavy in the hands. Curl the head back down, open the elbows, and bring the knees together. And now reach the arms back for the ceiling this time, towards the ceiling. Inhale while you're there. And as you exhale, curl back up through bridge. Reach your fingertips for the ceiling as your feet push down. And notice when you curl up with your arms in this position, if you can feel the space between your shoulder blades more clearly. Keep the tailbone curled up towards the ceiling. Push the feet down actively. Stay here and breathe. Keep letting the head release back. Relax the jaw, relax the face. And then slowly keep the tailbone curling up as we bring the upper back down. So you want to feel your pelvis tries not to touch the ground. This time we're going to bring our hands together. Hook the thumbs around the palms and notice that your fingers are lined up, your palms are lined up. Inhale here, and as you exhale, keep your pelvis heavy. Separate the back of the left shoulder from the ground so that it rolls us towards the right side, only as far as your fingertips stay lined up. If you notice your left hand got shorter, see if you can reach it out further, but yet keep the left hip on the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, come back through the center. Inhale in the center. Exhale, separate the back of the right shoulder off the ground. It's going to move you to the left side. Keep the back of the right hip on the ground. Keep both elbows straight. Inhale. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Bring the heels together, let the knees turn out. Interlace your fingers, grab the back of your head, elbows in. On the following exhale, send the low ribs into the mat. Start curling up again. Look through your thighs, like you want to stretch the skin between the shoulder blades. Inhaling, we're going to stay here for a second. Exhale, push your ribs down more. Reach your hands now out over your pelvis. Hold it for one moment, reaching for your toes, and then curling the head down. Knees come together, hands to the ceiling. Exhale, curl back up into bridge. Press down evenly into your feet as you curl up into bridge. Press the inner edges of the feet down onto the mat as well. Hold it for 2 breaths. Every time that you exhale, think of your tailbone curling up, like your pelvis rolls back and the back of your ribs expand when you inhale. One more breath, getting strong in the bridge. Exhaling, curl back down. Bring the hands together. This time, cross the right knee over the left. Inhale there. And as we exhale, separate the back of the right shoulder from the mat and allow the legs to roll over to the left, to the right. Legs rolling to the right side, back of the right shoulder lifts off the mat so the arms go to the left side and we're in a more active twist. Inhale. Exhale, bring the legs back to center, bring the arms back to center, uncross the legs, and then cross the other way, left over right. Inhale. Exhale, separate the back of the left shoulder first. Take your arms over first because they weigh less, and then let your legs go to the left side just a little bit. And you'll notice we don't have a lot of movement available, especially if we're keeping elbows straight, hands together, and breathe. And then bring the legs back into center. Bring the arms back into center. Uncross the legs. Reach the arms back over the head as the knees open. Interlace the fingers. Grab the back of your head. Guess what's next? Elbows to the sky and we curl back up. Breathe. Let's practice breathing here. Really pressing the low ribs into the mat and trying to rest your head back into your hands, which can be really tricky for the brain because the head is physically moving forward, but we want to push the head back into the hands so that we have a little more endurance here and we don't strain our neck. When you feel ready, reach the arms through the pelvis, like you want to grab your toes, hold it there for 1 breath, and then we'll bring our knees together. Reach the arms back for the ceiling, relax the head and neck. Exhale, curl back into bridge. Press up high. Notice if bridge is getting lighter or heavier or not really changing. Inhale and exhale. When you're exhaling, let your chest soften, but curl your tailbone up. Push down actively into your feet. Now this time we'll reach the arms up and over our head. Keep the back of the neck long. Make sure you can swallow. Push down into your feet. And now this time, let the right hip lower down. The left hip stays up. So we're staying pressed down in the left foot. And we're going to roll down the right side of the spine. Slowly, it will probably pick your left shoulder up a little. That's okay. As long as it feels safe. If the shoulders feel really tight, open the arms wider. Find the center with your pelvis centered on the mat. Inhale into your flat center on the ground. And as you exhale, curl back up into bridge. Inhale at the top of the bridge. Tailbone curls up. Now the left hip drops down. The right foot is staying very active, pushing down. Curl down the left side of the spine. Notice how the right shoulder comes off the mat just a little bit. Release the pelvis back into the center. Make sure your neck and shoulders are feeling happy. Inhale there. Exhale, we'll curl back up our center and explore this again. So both feet push down, you feel centered, and then the right hip drops down, but the left foot is still pushing. The left foot still working, and then gently bring the right side of the spine down. Notice the left shoulder. Once your hip is on the mat, center. Bring your pelvis back in line with your head if you find that it moves. Curl back up the center. Exhaling, let the left hip drop down, the right foot pushes down, and we roll down the left side gently. Once we come back through our center, we're going to reach our hands back up for the ceiling now. Notice the back of the head and shoulders on the mat. One last time, we'll bring our hands together, hook the thumbs, cross the right leg on top of the left leg. And now we'll let the back of the right shoulder lift off of the mat first so that it rolls us to our left side. Once the shoulders are there, let the legs roll over to the right side. And just breathe in that twist. You might feel lots of stuff in your shoulders. Keep reminding the head and the face to relax. Keep the elbows straight. Notice if there's any way to work less and still hold the shape. And then when you're ready, let your legs come back through center. Bring the arms through center. Uncross the legs. And then cross the left leg on top of the right leg. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, we'll separate the left shoulder from the mat. Elbows stay straight, heavy head. And let the legs roll over to the left. And breathe. Exactly. All twisted up. One more breath. And then we'll bring the legs back through center, bring the head and shoulders back through center, uncross your legs, reach the arms overhead as we open the knees back to butterfly, interlace the hands, bring them behind the head, rest into your interlaced hands with your butterfly legs, inhale here, and as you exhale, bring the left knee up, stand the left foot into the right foot, and send the left knee all the way over to the right. Inhale there. Exhale, let the left hip release. The left knee opens towards the sky. We come back through the butterfly or the goddess pose. And then the right knee comes up. Stand the foot into the bottom foot, reaching over to the side and breathe. And then releasing back, opening into that butterfly stretch last time. Take it over, make it feel like there's a pressure under the foot that helps to send your knee across. And then you soften out of it in the back of the chest, ribs and pelvis rolls back. Last time. Every exhale, release your head and your shoulders. And then coming back to the center. We'll hug our knees into our chest this time. Just give ourselves a little squeeze and gently rock from side to side. And then we'll turn this rocking motion into a small circle, circling around the sacrum. Notice if you have any tender spots back there, if you want to stay on them, massaging into it. Reverse the direction of your circle when you feel ready. And then coming to find the center, hugging the knees into the chest. We'll bring the hands behind the knees, elevate the feet up a bit higher. Inhale while we're here. And as we exhale, we're going to push the legs away into the hands, lift the head up and look through the spine, look through the abdomen. Inhale here. And with a little more effort, we're going to exhale, push through the legs and start to roll up. And it's okay to rock back and forth to get the rolling up. It's actually really important rather than just forcing. Inhale, sit tall. Now remember the bridge. We're going to exhale, curl the tailbone towards the knees, hang off of your thighs. Use the weight of the legs pushing away into your hands to slow you down. Inhale when you're on your mat. Exhale to come back up. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale and roll back. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, curl back. We'll do this 2 more times. And then sitting up tall the last time. We'll just stay here with our legs crossed. Just coming into a comfortable seated position, noticing how you feel. How's the neck? Let the head go from side to side a little bit. Feel out your neck. And then pausing in the center with the head right in the center. Inhale, reach both arms up. Hook your thumbs together. Stretch all the way up. Look up. If it's safe for the arms to come behind the head, you can do that. If it feels like it pulls on your body too much, then don't do that. And breathe with the arms overhead. One more breath. And as we exhale, we'll bring the left hand down to the floor. Take the body up and over. Bend your bottom shoulder, your bottom elbow, I should say, to keep the shoulder away from the ear. Inhale, stretch long through your right hand. And as you exhale, take the right hand to the floor. Turn towards the left knee and inhale here. Make sure that the back of your right hip is still on the ground. So your right hand can kind of push into the ground and notice the pull that that creates around the right low back, maybe even into your hips. Hold it for 1 more breath. Be mindful that the head isn't just hanging, dangling, but that you have your head gently held away from your knee. And then as you're ready, your left hand stays where it is. The right arm reaches back out in a diagonal. You turn back into your side stretch. And then we reach the right arm up, come through center, rest in the center, close your eyes, and notice if one side of the body is longer or bigger than the other. And on a following inhalation, reach both arms up overhead again. Hook the thumbs together, stretch the arms up, and take 3 breaths while you're here. You can relax your face and your jaw, relax your thighs and your pelvis. Notice how breathing deeply with arms overhead creates a very different demand for the breath. And then as you're ready, bring the right arm down to the mat this time. Take the left arm over. and reach. Bend your bottom elbow, shoulders wide, stretch your top elbow out, reach long. And then we turn towards the right knee, the left hand comes down. But again, be mindful that the back of the left hip, the opposite side, is still on the ground. And just take a few breaths there. Your left hand, your front hand, can push into the ground gently to send your pelvis back. Notice how one side of our trunk is stretching out through the arm. The other side, we're compressing. We're tightening it up. And then when you're ready, keep the right hand where it is. Stretch the left arm back up over your head. Turn back to your side stretch first, and then slowly make your way up to center. Close your eyes, rest your hands on your thighs, and just notice. In general now, are you taller and more expanded? And now when you feel ready, we're going to come back onto all fours, coming back onto our hands and knees. Bring your knees close together and bring your hands close together. Big open fingers, big space between the fingers. And as we exhale, we're going to round the spine, curl the tailbone under, and then slide the right knee towards the inside of the right elbow. As you inhale, stretch the right leg out, gently look forward. So think of your leg wanting to stretch rather than lift. Exhale, curl your tailbone under, round the spine, pull the knee to the nose. Inhale, think of the toes and the eyes wanting to stretch away from each other. Exhale, curl from your pelvis first, then start bringing the head and the knee in. Inhale to open. Exhale to curl. And again, notice how the knee and the eyes come close together and then how they move away from each other. So we're thinking of lengthening, opening, and then compressing, tightening up, closing the space. Last 3. Keep it going, and if you feel strong today and up for it, you can reach your left arm out to the side or out and over your head. And again, we're not lifting up, we're thinking more about reaching parts away from each other. The eyes away from the toes away from the eyes, the fingertips away from the foot if the arm is lifting up. Just make sure your shoulders feel good about it. Last one. And when you feel ready, you'll bring everything back down and fold into child's pose. And just rest. Take one more breath while we're here, and then we'll float ourselves up for the other side. So knees come together, big open fingers, palms close together. And as we exhale, we're going to round the tailbone, look into ourselves, and then curl the left knee towards the inner left elbow. Inhale, look forward, reach the toes away from the eyes. Exhale, start from your pelvis, and then bring it in. Inhale, reach through the eyes and the toes. Exhale, wait for the pelvis. It's so easy to just bring the knee in. Lead from the spine and the pelvis, then bring the head and the knee in. Squeeze all the air out. Keep going. Notice how your shoulders are feeling, especially the left shoulder. And if it feels appropriate, you can reach the right arm either out to the side or up and over your head and only have 2 points of support. The arm in the air can move. It can come back and forth off the ground. Remember, if your neck or shoulder on your left side get tired, you can bring your hand under your body a bit more. Last 3. And 2. Last 1. And then bringing the hands and knees back to the ground. And again, child's pose. Release the shoulders, let them drop down. And on our following exhale, we'll curl the tailbone down towards the ground, come back up to sitting on your feet, coming up as high as it feels safe and comfortable. And then we're going to come right up onto our knees. Separate the knees a bit wider, click the heels together. And when you exhale, you want to send your tailbone down and feel how that pulls the pubic bone up. It'll also create tension in your glutes and in your thighs. Squeeze your feet together. We're going to bend at the knees, lean back just a little bit, and you should feel the pull in the front of your thighs. Inhale and come up. Exhale, think pelvis forward, but the thigh goes back. Remember, it's called thigh stretch. So when you feel the pull from your knees running up the front of your thighs, that's great. If you feel sharp pain in your knee, that's not great. You'll want to make some changes. Maybe bring these closer together, take them wider apart. Squeeze the air out. Inhale up. Exhale all the way back, which is probably not that far back, but exhale all the air out. You can keep hinging back until your lungs are empty, and then the inhale brings you forward again. Last 3. And 2. Relax the shoulders. Last 1. And then coming back over the knees, shift your weight into your left knee and step your right foot forward. We're just going to bend the right knee, stretch into the hips, and then push down and lean back to straighten the front leg. And just glide back and forth. You can always have your hands on the mat, walk the hand back, or just the left hand on the ground. We'll do one more here. And now we're going to lean back, bring the right knee under the body, switch, and step the left knee forward. And again, lean forward, make sure your heel stays down, and then sit back as close to straightening your front leg as possible, but still keeping your body upright. Right, it's like we want to give the thigh stretch some functional movement. That last exercise we did before, we want to keep our body vertical so that it has to organize with the bottom leg. Great for balance. Last one. And then we'll lean back and again, bring both knees under us. Exhale, look down at your knees, start curling through your spine to bring your hands back to the mat. Tuck your toes under, sit back and stretch through your toes. Inhale. And as you exhale, we'll start straightening the legs. Let the head dangle down, reach the heels for the ground. Hello, back of the body. And then bend the knees, roll over the toes, knees to the ground. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, curl the head in. Straighten the legs, bend the knees, come back down, inhale. Just a few more. Flow rhythmically in and out of it, follow your breath. Notice if it gets easier as you repeat it, what changes. Do sensations change? Last one. And then we'll straighten our legs out as far as we can, feeling safely, not too much electricity, and just bend one heel, or rather bend one knee, press the opposite heel down and switch. And it doesn't really matter if your heel touches the ground or not, but do notice what's happening around your knee and your hip. Let the head dangle, relax the face. And then we'll start using this motion to walk our hands towards our feet or our feet towards our hands. We'll bring our hands and feet close together, bend the knees, pretend there's a chair for you. Not too low of a chair, just a subtle bend in the knees. Let your head dangle again and inhale. Just like we did in the bridge, curl the tailbone down as we start to curl the spine up. Take your time to come up, inhale and exhale evenly. And once your head is up, just close your eyes for a second. Let the arms hang at your sides. Notice the length of your neck. And on one of the inhales, you'll reach the arms all the way up and over. Hook your thumbs together again and stretch up towards the ceiling. Stretch down through your feet. You can press your pelvis forward. Feel like you want to lift up through your shoulders. And then let it all go. And we'll shake out our legs. Shake out our arms. Try and make yourself jiggle when you shake. And have a wonderful weekend.